All right. Hey, guys. Dr. Dex here. Welcome to the Dr. Dex podcast. Today, I have Mr. Chad Furley from Pacific Wood Tech. But from here on out, we'll just call it PWT. Chad Furley, welcome to the Dr. Dex podcast.
Hey, Doc. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here, actually.
Yeah, man. There's a lot to talk about today, but before we get started, why don't you just give us a quick introduction of what you're doing currently and what your role is with the company and so on and so forth, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, perfect. So my name's Chad Furley. I'm from PWT. I'm an outdoor living specialist, and I specialize in education for deck builders, lumber yards, and as well as architects and structural engineers.
Cool. So where you currently reside?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska. Is it cold there yet?
Today is beautiful. I'm not even kidding. So it's like 60 degrees outside.
Man, like I heard they had snow in Florida recently. Like what the heck is going on around the United States? And we went from basically summer to rain. Where I'm at. The last couple of days have been very punishing. It's like, usually when you're used to working in the weather, you get, you kind of acclimate to it.
Sure. But
those first few days in Washington, when it goes from like fall to just like misery.
Yeah.
We had over an inch of rain yesterday.
Holy smokes.
Which is a lot for us. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, well, actually, New York City gets more rain than you. But, yeah, they get it in squalls, and then it's nice again. But we just get it all the time, and usually in a light to medium format. But yesterday, man, it was coming down.
Wow.
So, yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah.
But, okay, so where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Norfolk, Nebraska, which is about a couple hours from here.
Okay.
That's where I'm originally from. And then
so is that where you went to grade school?
No, I did about kindergarten, first grade, and then my parents moved to Grand Island, Nebraska, and then that's where I finished out my education was at Grand Island, Nebraska. So high school I was in, believe it or not, drafting and design, and as well as shop class. So
yeah.
Yeah, English.
I was big on shop class myself.
Same.
So like in junior high and high school, was it sports or academics or both, or what was your jam?
My jam was actually running cross country and track. So
okay. I
did a lot of that. That was my jam.
Man, you must be into some kind of torture to be able to run cross country. I mean, I've always been a big guy, like big kid, always wide, always heavy. I would say I kind of hated running, but I played football, so I didn't hate it that much.
Right.
But to run like long distances quickly, that was like a bad thing for me. So how do you boy, what's the question I'm looking for here? It's like a couple actually. So how do you mentally prepare for that? Like, you're running a certain distance. Right. And you know that, you're trying to optimize for that, but how do you mindset for that?
That's a great question. I think it all boils back to, believe it or not, I've been an entrepreneur since about age 8. So I had a paper route and I deliver like 60 to 80 papers. It just all depends on the day. But I started at age 8, pedaled a lot of bike, you know what I mean? So I had a big territory to run as a kid. So I was in pretty good shape for the most part. And then after that, I don't know, I just kind of got into like the 6th and 7th grade, and then I started running like 3-4 miles a day. And then,
really?
Oh, yeah. And then it progressed. When I got into high school, I was running like 5 or 6 a day.
A day?
Yeah, a day.
So what kind of like shoes would you wear and gear would you use for that?
Believe it or not, back then we wore black tights. And then I didn't like Nike, so Adidas was pretty much my shoe that I wore the most. So, and
like a lot of people don't think about those kind of things, but I always am curious, like, just a good pair of walking shoes. Like, okay, so we're going to go modern age day right now, but like when you go to a trade show.
Yeah.
And I've seen you at several, and you're on your feet all day, and if you don't have a comfortable mat or something or anything to stand on, it's just concrete, basically.
Yeah.
And you get into your 6th hour and you're kind of like, oh man, my feet are kind of sore, that kind of thing. And I'm wearing Cloud Monsters or whatever I can get, the best shoe that my chiropractor's like, yep, these are the ones, get these. I'm like, okay, I'll go get those. I've tried several different types and pairs, but a good running shoe I would think would be kind of integral to your success and especially in these longer jaunts, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Good pair of running shoes. And we're at the shows, Dwayne goes all out. So he buys us like the inch pad. So
People come into your booth and they stop.
yeah.
It's like, oh, you see it on their face,
Yeah.
That's so cool. We'll get into that later, but cool. Let's go back to, so you're running, man. I mean, for any kid in junior high school to just say, I'm going to run 4 miles every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's very dedicated. That's pretty awesome. Did you ever wear tunes back then? I mean, did you have a Walkman or something, or were you just out and about? No.
No, I just put my head down and did it. That, and I probably goes back to some mentorship too from my grandpa, because like about age 7, he started pounding in my head like, hey, what type of person are you going to be when you grow up? Are you going to be somebody who makes things happen, somebody who watches things happen, or somebody who wonders what the hell happened? You better not be the last one. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, I kind of, that's a good, that's good verbs, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so you were so how did you do in high school when things got competitive?
It was really tough in high school. So junior high, like 6th grade through junior high, nobody touched me. I mean, I was the pretty fast kid and kicked everybody's butt on the mile, 800 and 3200 meter relay. So nobody touched me when I was running those. And then high school, it got a lot more competitive. There was a couple of kids from Ethiopia, and they would just wipe you. I mean, you were like over here on this side of the track, and they're like over here on this side of the track finishing. You know what I mean? You didn't have.
Man, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, and they are good runners, man. I mean, they always win the marathons, and you see it all the time.
Yep.
And was Jamaica a force back then as well? Do you know, or
no? No, it's just there's 2 kids from Fremont, and they were called the Ituffas, and these kids, man, you didn't stand a chance. They just blew you into weeds. 2 brothers, they just killed you. So
they were built for that, man.
Yeah,
that was their only purpose in life, was to just run.
And you got to run from lions and tigers, so they're a little fast.
No, yeah. You if you lose, you die. So I could see the heat that was behind them, man. Holy cow, that's crazy. So did that deflate you, or did that inspire you, or how did you handle that?
As anything, you try to inspire to do better, but when you're up against kids like that, it's impossible. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, I was already running like 5-6 a day. I mean, I can't imagine putting in any more. That was tough enough the way it was, and then
no kidding
on top.
Now, were you running before school or after school, or both?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty hardcore, man.
Dedication.
Yeah, I love it. Do you still run today?
No.
No. Okay. Hey, and that's okay, man. I was just curious because my next question was going to be, how are your knees in your your joints?
I mean, like right now, I'm standing on a good 1.5 inches of foam, so that's awesome.
All right. So you like to do these type of interviews and things standing up, prefer versus sitting down?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stand enough during the day, man. I'm going to take a seat.
Yeah, and I'm being an old carpenter, you run into some pains. Spend a lot of time with the chiropractor, so same thing. He's like, stand as much as you can.
Oh, hey man, it's good advice. I see one. I try to see him every week, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Yep.
I feel like chiropractic for me now, as still an active builder at an older age, it's kind of necessary to be adjusted weekly or bi-weekly. Our schedules don't match all the time, so I'm a little haphazard on it, but I'm a firm believer in it, and I think that chiropractic is a good thing just to keep you in alignment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, I agree.
All right, so you're in school, high school, you're running like crazy to catch these guys, and
Yeah.
they're unobtainable. So
Yeah.
so what's next for Chad?
Actually, I mean, during high school too, I did a couple different things during high school. So I worked for McDonald's. Imagine that. That's like half of it.
Okay.
I worked at McDonald's. And
What was your favorite meal there?
at that time, it was like it was almost like a quarter pounder. I can't remember what we called it, but it was like by itself. You put it in this fancy little container, and it had like a side of like cold.
McDLT.
Yes, that's it.
You like the McDLT?
Heck yeah.
Calvin, you remember those?
I never got those.
He never got one.
Oh,
I didn't know they existed.
Oh,
they were awesome. So I used to make my own. So working at McDonald's, you flip your burger and make your own. So
yeah, right off the grill, though. It was better than that stupid plastic container, man, because you were straight on.
Yeah,
so how old were you when you got the job at McDonald's?
I think I was like, I think I was 16 when I worked there. So
wow, man, that's really cool.
Here's a funny story about that. So this one will crack you up. So, they start me back on the fry machine, and I was making like nuggets and all this other, filet-o-fish and whatnot. And then they're like, hey, we're going to move you up to the grill. I'm like, okay, cool. And I love the grill, man. Flipping burgers all day. It was awesome. I loved it. And then they're like, hey, I need you to come in and do breakfast. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I started coming in and flipping pancakes and everything else. And then they're like, hey, we're going to move you over to making French fries. I'm like, okay, whatever. Now we're going to move you back to making salads and whatever. And, oh, by the day, today we're going to put you up on the front register. And I was a pretty shy kid back then. I'm like, no. No, don't put me up front on the register. Please don't put me. And it was like summer. This is a great story. I don't know how PG this is, but anyway, so I'm standing up there. I'm not kidding you. It's like 104 degrees outside in Nebraska. And I get this lady who comes up, who's a very large gal, and wearing a tank top, sets the ladies on the counter, orders all this food, like $40 worth of food. And so here I am. I'm like, hey, ma'am, that's 38, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like slow motion. You see this hand go. And she pulls out two $20 bills that are just nasty. I didn't unfold them. I just threw them in the drawer. But you're just like mortified as a kid, right?
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's terrible. So, anyway, then they moved me over to drive-thru. And the next thing I know, they're like, hey, you're going to be a crew chief. So then I started running the joint after that, and that was kind of fun. And I did that for a couple of years, and then one of my last years, I went to, I think it was my junior year, I went to work for a men's store selling suits, and that's where I really got into high-end sales. So, and we used to, every Saturday morning, we'd meet for class, and we would practice and role play and really do a lot of like Carnegie and that type of stuff. And do a lot of sales training and how to add on sales and whatnot. Well, at that time, I was working at that store. I worked at that store for like 7 years. But I was like dressed to the nines. I mean, high-end suits, the whole 9 yards. And I was the guy that was always dressed to the nines. Well, I used to have these guys that come in from FDIC, and they would come in and they'd drop like $5,000 each in suits.
Wow.
So
back then, that was a lot of money.
That's a lot of coin.
Kind of still is for a suit, but yeah.
Yeah. So they come in and spend $5,000 each. Well, the full timers used to get mad at me because they're like, "Dude, you're the new guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the new guy, but guess who's dressed to the nines?"
Yeah, baby.
Guess who they want to look like?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
look at me.
Just me, yeah. So they spent all kinds of money and make my full-time people. They were not happy, but it was awesome. It was so much fun. So
awesome.
That's kind of where the Double D was born, believe it or not. So
which is
Chad Double D. I never had.
Oh, the double. Okay, the 2D. Yeah, because your first name is spelled with an extra D at the end of it.
D at the end, yeah. So
were you born with that, or it was?
No. Started at that men's store. So my manager's like, hey. Someday I'm going to have a son. His name's going to be Chad, and he's going to spell it with two D's. And he goes, two D's is way cooler, and it's going to make more of a impact on your customers than knowing that you have that extra D, just because no one else has that, and it's just unique. And I'm like, cool. So that's where it was born, and it's stuck ever since.
So did you legally change your name to that, or is it just something that? No. So on your driver's license, you only have one D.
Yeah, single. Yep.
But on your business card, you have 2 Ds.
Double. Yep.
I love it. So it's great. See, now this is something. Who would have known that?
Yeah, nobody.
unless they're listening to this podcast,
Yeah.
So
my wife is like, "That's just stupid."
No, man, it's still cool.
It is. Yeah. Absolutely. So
it is what you think it is, and
it is.
I'm still resonating on McDonald's, to be honest.
That was.
So I have one more question. We're gonna go backwards for just a second, and then we'll go.
Hungry.
Yeah, I can't eat yet. It's well, I got a couple hours still before my window opens.
They're still serving breakfast, man.
There you go, all day.
So
cheat day.
Man, I've heard some of these McDonald's managers can do quite well.
Yeah.
You got your entry level minimum wagers, but then like as you go up the chain, they start to reward you a little bit better with your pay. And I had an uncle that used to be in the McDonald's Corporation, and this is 30 years ago, and he was pulling over 6 figures 30 years ago, managing a few stores or whatever.
Sure.
So when did you leave, or you went through everything at McDonald's and basically became, like you said, the shift manager, and then what do you become, a general manager after that?
No, then you move into like a assistant store, and then store manager was the thing back then. And I love my my assistant store and store manager, but the hours really just beat you up when you're trying to go to school. You know what I mean?
Oh, I bet.
So the midnights, they kind of beat you up a little bit, but
yeah, especially if you have a test the next day or something, man, that's brutal.
Yeah. And then, now here's something funny too. So I didn't tell you this either. During that time, I also worked at a radio station, and I had so much fun doing that.
Oh man.
So
what was it? AM, FM?
FM. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you do there?
I was a disc jockey. So played music, and Casey Kasem was big back then, like Sunday nights. So that was, believe it or not, that was a record of 12 records that we used to get every week. And so we had 2 record players going, so we had to flip records. But then also the music at that time was like almost like an 8-track looking thing. So you used to pull all your music for the the show basically, and then all your commercials and everything else as well. So I kind of got thrown into it. One of my friends was doing it, and he said, "Hey man, they need some help. Can you help?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'll come and help." And
what year approximately was that?
I would have been about 89 and 90.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
So a minute ago.
Yeah.
And you were still in high school at that point?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So like junior, senior, or?
Yeah, I was a junior, senior when I got into that. So they need some extra help. So
that's kind of a cool thing to do at such a young age.
It is.
They're kind of giving you a lot of responsibility, man. You could just go off the wild side and totally end your career as a DJ by just saying something crazy. But
yeah,
I mean, that's pretty awesome to have that experience that at such a young age. Wow, that's crazy. I would love to do that.
Yeah,
I would have loved to do that when I was in high school, man.
It was,
but I probably would have got in trouble.
Yeah. Tears for Fears was the bathroom song. So if you had Tears for Fears, man, that was like 6 minutes. So that gives you plenty.
So was that like a top? Oh, that was when you could go hit the bathroom on, or Led Zeppelin, like Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
But what kind of music was it? Was it top 40?
Yeah, well, top 40, but old too. I mean, so they had Solid Gold Saturday Night, which was kind of funny. Solid Gold Saturday Night. So we used to do a lot of that, and it was kind of fun. But that all came via satellite, so that was kind of boring.
Interesting.
I mean, that's just moving knobs up and down, and it was
gotcha.
So yeah, it was a blast. So
okay, so you're DJing, you're McDonald'sing, and then when did you go transition from McDonald's to the suit store?
I think I was a junior when I did that, and then that was so much fun. I actually did it during college too. I come home on the weekends. So
cool. So in high school, were you translating those suits? Would you wear them to school at all? Like
no.
I
didn't need to be that guy. I was already white and dirty all the way it was.
Did any of your classmates ever come in and see you at the store?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
A lot of people.
Man, look at you.
Yeah.
You look different.
Yeah, exactly.
So would you just be able to walk in and pick anything off the rack, or did you actually have custom stuff made for yourself?
Pick things off the rack and then have them custom fit to me.
Did they give you an allowance or something like that to do that with, or were you buying all this stuff?
No, I was buying a little over cost.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
all right.
But you had to look good. I mean, that was the thing, so yeah, it was fun.
Do you still have any of those suits today?
A few ties, but not the suits. I've gotten bigger, so.
Understandable. Yeah. All right. Okay. So you said, so you finished out high school.
Yep.
Did you have any hobbies at the time?
Running.
Hey, it's a good one, man.
Yeah, running and work. Some of the summers too, I go help my grandpa. My grandpa's a well driller up in Norfolk, Nebraska. So I go up and help him sometimes during the summers when he needed help, and that was a lot. I was very labor intensive and a butt kicker. So
was that for water, or what were you drilling for?
Yeah, water.
Yeah.
Yep. So we did residential and commercial. So irrigation type of stuff, and then as well as some like steel mills and other stuff that we had commercial wells at. So
how big's the hole that you drill in the ground when you're starting a well?
It varies. So like commercial, you can be up to like, 24 to 36.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And then residential, usually only about an 8 or usually about 8-inch.
8-inch. That still seems pretty large. So as you're drilling this hole, are you sleeving the hole as you go down? Or
no, first you drill it, you hit water, and then you sleeve it from the bottom up after that. So
at the very bottom of the well hole.
Yep.
I mean, how do you know, like, what if you over drill and you go past the water, or you hit an aquifer or whatever, and then that water comes up the hole? So how do you keep the bottom of the well clean so that it doesn't get obstructed or anything like that?
Great question. So a lot of times that sleeve also has like a filtration system in it, kind of like has little slits in it so water can go through and clean out basically. And basically you kind of drill like 10 feet into it. So not like all the way, you don't bottom it out, but you get to that certain spot where you have the nice clean stuff. And after that, you drop your pump in with the motor, and then we ran black pipe all the way from the bottom up. So, but inside the casing, obviously. So you had casing, and then.
So you drop a pump that fits through an 8-inch hole, and and obviously that's powered. So you got to drop a power. And how deep are you putting this?
Anywhere between, I think the shallowest was probably, I would say maybe 20, 25, but the deepest that I worked on was probably 350, 400 for a residential and commercial.
So you're burying like a power cable, like a 110. Is it low voltage or?
Yeah, it's 110. So
what? 110, but is it a low voltage line that goes down, or is it converted, or does it say
all the way down? So
is it 110 all the way down, or is it?
Yeah, 110.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you have like, what is it, like a special type of Romax or something that you're dropping down into the?
It's just like a black, like PVC pipe, and then basically what you're doing is you put a nipple on it, and that goes to the pump. A motor's below, then the pump, then the nipple, black pipe, and then you put your pipe fittings on that. I can't think of what those are, but anyway, pipe fittings, and then then your electrical tape that power all the way down. So about every 10 feet, you're running electrical tape around the pipe. So it's dropping in the whole electrical tape. That stuff lasts forever. So it's
especially underwater, I suppose, where it's not getting exposed to elements, right?
Yeah. So.
And then do you put another sleeve that the water passes through, or is there like a filtration system that once it gets to the top, or is the water just so pure that it just comes out and goes straight to whatever source it needs?
Yeah. So normally then it comes up to like the top, and then it shoots over to the house. You have a pressure tank in there, and the pressure tank is what holds the pressure in your house. So it runs to that pressure tank, and then the pump kicks on, and then like automatically feeds your system.
Okay, is it better? Do you ever have a pump at the top of the well versus at the bottom of the well?
Always at the bottom. Yeah.
Always at the bottom.
Yep.
See, I learning something new every day, man.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. That's really interesting to me. Like, how that would work. So if you lose power, you lose water.
Yeah. Now, commercial, like you're dealing with like irrigation. Irrigation is that's a totally different animal. So irrigation, you have a big, like I said, like 24-36, but then you're dropping down like like a 12-inch piece of well, it's not like galvanized, but it's a cast iron pipe. So you're dropping that down the hole, but then down the center you have what they call as an oil tube. So the oil tube, there's a shaft that runs through the oil tube, and that the oil heats and cools the pump from the bottom up, basically. So it's always changing out the oil, but then the water runs up through the center also and keeps the pipe cool, because there's not a motor down there per se. It's more of a pump system. So we have impellers down there. The impellers are turning and then pushing the water up through the center of the pipe. And then at the top, you either have like an electrical motor or you have like a real motor turning like a gear head or a head on top of that. And then the water comes out. It comes out through the bottom. There's like I can't remember what that exact term is, but there's like a head basically, and then the motor sits on top of that. And sometimes that was either running via electric, or sometimes it was running via just like a 350 Chevy motor sitting out there turning it. So yeah,
That's a lot of volume to be running a V8 on, huh?
Yeah. And then you had my grandpa was in the business and my uncle, and it's not good when you have that much family in a business.
Oh, sure. Understood. Yep.
So one of us had to go.
Yep. I volunteer.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
That all stemmed from shop class, man. We were making cabinets and we were building additions on people's houses. I was doing architecture back then. We were building sheds. We did all kinds of stuff. So that kind of really propelled me into what I love to do today,
Okay.
So.
All right. So after high school, you went to college.
Yeah. So I went to a trade school. So I went to Milford Southeast, which is in Nebraska, a little small town. A 4-year was just not for me, to be honest with you. The reason why was I was just not cut out for that. I wouldn't have made a 4-year. I just didn't have go to school, like once a day or whatever. I needed more structure. And so we were in class 8 to 5, Monday through Friday for 2 years. So, and with the other thing that I really loved about that whole dynamic of trade school was this 98% job placement.
Nice.
You don't get that at a 4-year.
No, man. No, I'm all aboard. I think it's great, the trade schools that are available, that a lot of these people are going out and learning and picking a profession and getting the training they need to succeed at it.
Yeah.
It's becoming a lost cause, and more people should get involved with that. Definitely becoming a diminished capacity at the moment,
Yeah, I agree. And how, some kids just aren't cut out for 4-year, and I'd be the first to admit it. There's no way I would have. Yeah. I mean, there's just no way. I hated English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was just not my thing. But you put me in like math and everything else, like I wasn't good at Spanish either. So, I guess I should have paid more attention, but.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, right?
Yeah. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But.
Yep. But, hey, you're doing great right now. So that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. And, I graduated from there, and then I had a job with a trailer manufacturer. They manufactured trailer homes. And they said, Mr. Furley, we're going to put you in this 5x5 cubicle 10 hours a day. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. So I was driving around town in Grand Island, Nebraska, and I ran across this job site where this guy was building high-end custom homes. And so I just stopped in and said, hey, my name is Chad Furley. I just graduated from Milford Southeast. He goes, funny you should mention that. I go, why is that? Well, I graduated from there in 1965. I'm like, cool. He goes, when can you start? So,
awesome.
Yeah. So he goes, I understand you had the architecture part. That's great, but I'm going to show you what not to do. That's a designer. So, I mean, the guy was awesome. You can't put a price on what I learned from him. You just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, he was phenomenal. I mean, I learned everything from him. I mean, it was one thing to do in high school and learn from your teacher and you think you know it all. No.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in the field with this guy and you're on a build that takes you 6-7 months to frame, you know, that
gives you some time on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we were on the job.
How old were you at that point?
Early 20s.
Okay.
So yeah, I swung a hammer. We built $1 million cribs. I think it was on 3 builds total before I left there. But I mean, you can't put a price on that education from that guy.
No, from start to finish too, huh? So like you're starting at the foundation.
Yeah, we didn't do that. We did the flat work, obviously.
Right.
And then we did everything up from there, but obviously not the trades, of course, and drywall.
Sure.
We didn't do drywall, but
well, yeah, but you're still around it, like
yeah.
You can still check it out and see what's going on and how they're doing it and understand the mechanics of it.
Yeah,
that's what's cool about it. You might not be the concrete guy,
right.
The form setters, but you can see how the forms are set.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you happen to be there on that day, you can see how the concrete's poured into the forms and how they vibrate them and how they, and then how they strip them and all those things that like people don't see when they're buying a house.
Correct.
Or the mechanics of how it all comes together. And that's what I think is really cool about doing a full service home builder is you're getting all the way from the concrete work all the way to the finished trim. And even though just like you said, you didn't do the drywall, but you probably saw how they were installing the drywall and what it took, all the sheetrock screws that went into that thing and all the taping and mudding and texture and then paint and all of it.
Yeah, I'm not good at drywall. I get it all over myself. I'm not good at it.
Yeah, you can't do everything. I mean, some people can.
No.
But
I suck at that. I'll be the first to admit.
Me personally, I kind of chose a path of just specializing in one.
Yeah. Yep.
And doing that really well and trying to be efficient at it versus doing everything.
Yeah, and they don't do this anymore. You know what I mean? They don't do. Now you have paper guys. So I mean, it's totally different. It's not the same. Like I said, that education is invaluable because when you learn how to side, how to put windows in, how to insulate, how to roof, how to install skylights. Finish trim. We did all the finish trim. I hung doors. I did all the finish work. Base. I mean, we did it all. Now, I didn't do the high end stuff. Like, for example, we have one guy by the name of Arlen, and he did like these beautiful. He's like you. He did these beautiful staircases. You're like, dude, you are a master.
Yeah.
So
well. That's cool that guy, he knew he had his purpose, man.
Oh, yeah. He built some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen in my life. So.
That's really cool. Okay, so you spent about 3 years, you said, with this guy?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And then what's the next step? What led you to move on?
Next, I went to lumberyard. So I went back into design for a little bit. So I worked, and I didn't work at that lumberyard very long, about a year. And then see what the hell did I do after that. I went to work for a ready-mix company after that. So I was a batch man. So, me being in the trades, you can throw me anywhere, So I was a batch man for a couple of years. I batched concrete and ran about 25 guys. Crazy hours. I mean, just crazy hours. You're working 4 a.m. to 7, 8 o'clock at night sometimes, and they had me on salary, so that was kind of a bad deal for me. But
oh, dang, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. So I did that for a couple of years, and then after that, believe it or not, I went to Menards and worked at Menards and started as just doing takeoff estimates and all that stuff, and then I moved into management, so I was an outside yard manager. Ran a big crew there. Believe it or not, I moved around with them a couple times. I moved over to Council Bluffs, Iowa. I ran a big crew of 20, I don't know, maybe it's closer to 40 guys over there. I was the outside yard manager. Great education, learned a ton about people and just things in general. And phenomenal group to work for the most part. I had a blast. I mean, I really did. It was fun. Killer out.
For the listeners that don't know what Menards is, it's similar to a Home Depot or a Lowe's or any home improvement center, really.
Yeah. And
matter of fact, does Menards is it part of one of those larger chains?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're massive. I mean, they're not quite nationwide, but they're getting there. I mean, they're
I've heard of the name a lot, especially through different distribution channels, but I don't think we have one in my area yet.
Yeah. So Menards was great. We work in killer hours. I was working, so like on Saturdays and Sundays, it was insane. So I go in at 6 a.m. on Sunday or on Saturday, and I would get off till 11 p.m. usually during the summer. So it was brutal, but it was fun. I mean, we had a blast doing it, but it was killer hours. You always had, and I hate to say it, and I don't even want to tell you this, but so at 9 o'clock, we closed at 9, and during the summer, it never failed. Always had one guy, 9 o'clock, come in. Yeah, I'm building a 20 by 20 deck. Great. So guess who's pulling the material?
Oh, man. At 9 p.m.?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know stores were open that late.
Oh, yeah. Happened all the time. So that's why I was there always late. And then we had to clean the yard. And I ran a really tight shift yard. I mean, they'd fly people in from corporate going, Furley, I don't know how you do it, because at this yard that I was working on in Council Bluffs the thing was a money-making machine. I mean, it just cha-ching, and people all the time and super busy. And that's why, but they're like, Furley, I don't know how you run such a tight shift and keep your yard so clean. I'm like, that's all we do, your yard is like awesome. And I go, well, yeah, that's what we do. I mean, we take care of our yard, So yeah, they fly people in from all over, and they're like, wow, I can't believe how clean of a yard you're at. I'm like, well, that's what we do. That's why we work crazy hours, So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So how long were you with Menards for?
I think about 4 or 5 years, somewhere in there. So, yeah.
Then what?
Pella.
Yeah.
And that was just I stopped in the store one day because I'm a designer. I've been designing houses, decks, additions, barn doors, garages for over 30 years. That's what I do part-time. Put kids through college with that money. So, anyway, I do that part-time. I stopped in to get some literature because I had a project coming up where I need some window sizes and they wanted to use Pella. So I stopped in there and the manager was like, hey, I kind of like you. I'm like, okay. It's like, can you come in for an interview? I'm like, sure. So I went in for an interview, and I've always been really good at, Menards. I did a lot of different things for them. They started a contractor program. So that was doing about 0 sales. And when I left, I think I was doing about 1.2 million, which is pretty good for a small town at the time. So I went to work for Pella. They were doing about 250. And when I walked out, I think we were doing 1.8 million. So, and then I used to sell commercial windows. So I go out and educate architects on our products. And next thing I know, they'd be speccing us in big commercial projects. So I was really good at that. Had a fun time. Had to get over the architect thing because sometimes architects can be a little intimidating.
Yeah.
I mean, so you kind of got to get over that fear. And they kind of scared me at first, to be honest with you. And then I'm like, you know what? They put their pants on just like I put.
That's right.
On. So.
Yep. A lot of them have an inflated ego, but some of them are amazing. Their designs, and the thing I love about architects is if they want something in their build or in their design, if they spec you, then whoever's bidding on that design has to use you. So I had this architect, I didn't know the guy, but he spec'd Dr. Dex has to heat bend these custom benches for this spray park that they were doing locally. And 6 of the contractors out of 50 that were bidding on the project never asked me for my bid. And one of those 6 was awarded the bid. And then when they asked me for the price, they had already been awarded the contract. they almost dropped their drawers when they figured out how much I was charging to heat bend 6 benches. And they called the architect and complained about my price. And the architect's like, what do you want me to do? So the architect calls me. I'm like, is this even like a thing? Is this like, you know, is this real? Like, are you guys seriously going to call me and ask me to? He goes, look, I'm not telling you to reduce your price, he said, but, you know, they're complaining about it. He says, I think it's justified because I know what you got to do to make these benches. And you have the technology and the ability. That's why I chose you. That's why you're doing it and not somebody else. I go, all right, cool. So I just held tight. I said, sorry, man, my price is my price. You got to use me. You don't really have a choice.
Good for you.
You know, so we did it. And that's what sorry, that was a little side thing, but if you can get involved with certain architects and they like your style and they like your build and they keep reusing you, those public works projects, they got to use you.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and if the companies that aren't, I mean, because I was people reaching out to me daily, weekly, hey, we need a bid for these benches. All right, here you go. Because once I made it once, I just changed the name on the invoice or the estimate, and off it went. It wasn't that difficult to do, but I was learning too. But I don't work with a lot of architects, but the one I did, it was a great experience, man. He stayed true to my. He kept his word, you know.
Yep.
So that was an awesome experience. So for you to go out and realize that at a younger age, and then be able to go in and get your products in front of these guys. That's smart. That's smart. That's a good strategy.
Yeah, and they gotta have 18 credit hours a year. So I give them a credit hour, so I had their attention.
Oh,
I used to do box presentations and just take in lunch and get them set up, and then we just rocked it. So it was awesome. And then there was a very large complex coming up during my tenure there, where one of the guys from Nebraska, he was the first one ever to hit the lottery for $51 million. So this guy lived in this small town, and it was a college where Tom Osborne went, the famous football coach from Nebraska. So this guy was head of maintenance. Well, I've been seeing him for years, you know. So he went from head of maintenance to sitting on the board with Dr. Tom. Wow. This 51 million. So anyway, it's kind of a funny story. So he's like, I'm calling him like, hey, can we meet for lunch? He's like, sure. What do you want to talk about? And I go, I think you know what I want to talk about. So I took a millionaire to lunch, which is awesome. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, at the time, cool. You know, I mean, sure. It was like, you know, early 2000s, you're like, hey, this is pretty cool. You know, taking a millionaire to lunch, you know, and which is pretty neat. I mean, you just don't, you know, you don't get those opportunities is what I'm saying.
Right.
At that time, because I was just a young 20-year-old.
Yeah.
So in my 20s. So anyway, I took him to lunch, and we're sitting there, and he's like, he had all these dormitories coming up. And I'm like, hey, I really want these dorms. I mean, you're talking $2 million deal, basically. So he's like, hey, I put Pella in my house. I go, yeah, I remember that. He's like, do you think by chance, I got a couple service issues. Do you think you could take care of those for me? Sure. No problem. Sweet. Let's do it. Perfect. Thank you. A handshake, and that was done. So then I went back to my manager and my GM at that time, and I told him, hey, we need to fix these things. And he was like, I don't know. And I'm like, you're a moron. So around him, I went to my service guy, and I'm like, dude, I will buy you lunch. I will do whatever. I'll buy you lunch for a week. I don't care. Please get this done for me, and we'll pick up a $2 million contract. He's like, I'm in. So
nice.
Yeah. So it was pretty sweet. So
you replaced the windows and got the deal?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're playing the game, bro.
Yeah. And it was
learn how to play the game at a young age.
Yeah, it's like a 3-year deal, but still, I mean, it kind of adds up. You know what I mean?
It comes back around. Sometimes, as human beings and business owners, or we're working for a business, and we're if you're on commission or salary or whatever, you're looking at the long play. You got to sometimes look at the long play. I have clients that contact me 2 to 3 years later on projects and say, okay, we're ready to go. Yeah. I'm like, what was your name again? Oh, yeah. You have to look it up and figure out where they lived. Oh, that was a good one. I got to call them back. But sometimes just being in the right place at the right time for the right amount of time can really reap your reward.
Yeah.
And that's an awesome deal. And so this is still with Pella?
Yeah. It seemed like when I'll be honest with you, anytime that I can grab onto sales, whatever that needs to look like, I can take it to the next level. I mean, I've just
love it.
Kind of build those relationships. You know what I mean? I'm a relationship guy. So
sure. Okay. So you finish up at Pella.
Yep.
Or what's next? I mean, what got you from Pella to where?
Yeah, I got a long history. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
I got a long history. So
I'm all in.
After that, I went to work for insurance company. And one of my friends was running an insurance company. He's like, hey, I need some extra help. Can you come help me for a little bit? So I went and I worked for him. And one of my friends made a cologne. And during that time, the cologne was for American choppers.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah. So this cologne here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there's
look at that.
Here in Junior.
Paul. Hey, Paul.
Yeah. And over here, I've actually got a poster on my wall with their signatures.
Oh, cool.
So I got to fly to New York just when they were getting big, and I got to meet them. So that was So, I mean, that was really neat. But like I said, that was kind of short-lived. And then after that, I jumped into packaging for about 10 years and sold packaging. So
describe that, or what kind of packaging?
So
what do you mean by that?
We sold boxes, tape, and just everything you need for packing, custom packaging, that type of stuff. So
you would be surprised at how lucrative that is.
Oh, it's a moneymaker. I worked for 2 companies during that time. One company that I worked for is called Carlson Systems. Once again, I built a business from about 200,000 up to 1.4 million. And then I was living in Grand Island at that time, and they're like, hey, can you come to Omaha? We need some help. They suck, and you need to come in and clean up the mess. So I went in there. They were doing about 400,000. And when I got fired, we were doing 1.8 million. So my boss came in on one day, and he's like, hey, sorry, we're going to have to let you go. And I'm like, that's going to be really bad for you. He's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, it's going to be really bad for you. I'm telling you right now, you got these 2 other idiots in the office over here. They can't even touch my numbers. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm very good at what I do. Are you sure you want to let me go? Yeah, we got to let you go. And I'm like, it's going to be bad for you. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be very, very bad for you. So,
and it was.
Yeah, so they let me go. So I ended up taking about 1.6 million with me.
Oh, good for you.
I told him, man, it's all about how I treat my customers at the end of the day. And I love what I love to do with my customers. I really like to get to know them on a personal level. And you build that relationship with them that no one can touch. And that's what I'm really good at, And so my boss went into all those accounts, and he's like, hey, man, Furley, I know it's working you, and, hey, we really need your business in 2009. And all my customers are like, man, if he ends up somewhere at one of your competitors, you're screwed. I'm telling you right now, you are screwed. And I went to the competitor, and yeah, I took it all, most of it.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure that new hire was so happy that you came along with your clients.
Yeah, yeah. They were pretty awesome. They're like, man, I can't believe you're bringing all this to the table. And I'm like, well, I've been working these guys for a long time, and we're friends, and I know their families and their kids, and we're just I really take pride in taking care of my clients. I want to make sure I've served them properly. if they ever needed anything, I dropped whatever I was doing to help them. I mean, that's what it's all about. You gotta go one above. Just do one thing more than the other guy. You know what I mean?
Love it.
So yeah, it was awesome.
Nice.
Fun. So in one account,
so a decade of packaging, tape,
yep,
box cutters, all that stuff.
Yep. Yeah. And then one client I chased for 5 years, and I signed him as I was leaving for $600,000 in business. So yeah, I mean, I just
a lot. Were you mostly, was it commercial or personal, residential? What were you?
Commercial.
Yeah.
Commercial, almost like Uline, kind of is the best way to explain it.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody knows Uline. So
man, I keep getting these big catalogs. I didn't really know much about them, but they sell a Bible, or they give you a Bible full of products. Like, holy cow! It's like I like looking at it, but I've never really ordered from them because I just don't know much about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'm tucked away in the upper left and don't see a lot of these things, but
yeah, they're big. They're really big. So.
Okay, so after cardboard or packaging, we'll say,
yeah.
Where'd you end up after that?
So I interviewed for BPI, which is Building Products Inc. out of at that time it was Watertown, South Dakota, but now their corporate office is in Sioux Falls. So with them, they needed a EWP specialist, somebody who knows EWP, engineered wood products, which I spec a lot of that over here on this side, my drawing side. So I know quite a bit about EWP. So they're like, hey, we need to hire an EWP specialist to come in and start selling for us. So once again, it was an opportunity where they're doing about that magic number of 400,000. And so when I left, we were doing 16.6 million. So, and then when I was working for them, I went to, I had started in 2018. I flew to Burlington, your backyard, and I met with the folks at PWT, and I was enamored. I mean, I'll be honest with you, these people, I just loved them. I fell in love with PWT in 2018 because I in the back of my head, I'm going, how do I get here? How do I get here? How do I get here? How can I work for PWT? Always in the back of my head, because I just love the camaraderie, the people these people are amazing. I mean, countrywide, there's so much knowledge of EWP. It's unbelievable. No one has what we have in our tool bag. Nobody. The years, the experience, nobody has what the engineering that goes behind it. I mean, nobody has what PWT had. And so I was just like enamored when I first met them. And so anyway, the long story short, Treated LVL came out in 2019. And so the vice president came to me and said, Chad, he goes, what do you think about this? Well, me coming from the field, it took me about 30 days to really figure out where I could take it. And so he came back to me, and I'm like, give me a little time to sleep on it. So he came back to me. He's like, hey, well, what do you think? I'm like, here's what I'm going to do. He's like, how many trucks you want to order? I'm like, I don't know. This is like January. I'm like, I think I want to do 7, but I don't want them right now. We'll space them out. But I go, beginning of April, I want to be able to hit the ground running. I mean, run. And so as soon as April hit, man, holy smokes, I hit the ground running like nobody's ever seen. I mean, I was number 1 in the nation. Once again, I'm not a horn tooting guy. Mm-hmm. I was number 1 in the nation the first 2 years. Nobody touched me. I sold more Treated LVL. I kept that press running for 2 years, the first 2 years. So I was the crazy one that jumped off the bridge, and I sold a ton of it. A lot of big deck builders all over the Midwest. So I covered like 12 states. So here in the Midwest, and we just killed it. Absolutely killed it with all the education, everything else that went with it. We're doing a lot of like College of Knowledge, where contractors had to go in and get their credit hours so they'd come see us when I worked at BPI. So I would do a presentation on the Treated LVL, and next thing I know, man, they're buying. I mean, the way I sold it, and my background is framing anyway, and everything else coming from the field. And I'm like, this is a no-brainer product at the end of the day, just because, as you know, CCA was a great product in the 90s, and those decks are still standing today because it was great, great juice. And you also had, tighter growth rings. So, and today you don't have that. So anyway, I went out and I just lit it on fire, and they're just like, holy crap, this kid's like
the moisture content in today's current treated lumbers, it's varies so much.
Yeah.
And you might get one piece that's soaking wet and one piece that's moderately wet in different. It's like, I don't think they can adjust or manage the percentage of moisture in the materials. They're just trying to pump the chemicals into it, and there's really no way to regulate it.
Yeah, I saw that at Menards. So what they do is they actually take a small rail car, and they'll roll it into like this tube that's probably, I would say, is 12 feet in diameter. And it looked like a big sub, and then they close it up and they tighten it up, and then they just flood it, and then they just push that through the material, basically. So now you're breaking it down. You're breaking down the cells. So it's just strong at the end of the day either. So yeah, I've seen that done. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So
okay. So towards the end of, so you went and you worked with an engineered wood product company before PWT.
Yeah, we were a wholesale company. So we sold wholesales. We sold to every lumberyard in like 12 states, basically.
Right. So you're like a distributor kind of?
Yeah, a distributor. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you talked to PWT, and they brought you in.
No,
from there?
I ended up leaving BPI in 2023. I went through like 10 bosses, and I said, so anyway, then I went to work for, this is funny, I went to work for an insulation company for not very long, about 4 months, got fired from there. So I won't mention the name, but anyways, kind of funny. They were like, yeah, you don't fit our corporate profile, so unfortunately we're gonna have to let you go. And then he was like, my boss was like, you want to talk about it? No, I don't. We're good, thank you. So then I went to work for another wholesale company here in the Midwest, and I wasn't with them very long, and the vice president of PWT and the CEO, Jim Enright, started hunting me. They're like, I was selling glue lam against them. They didn't like that, so they're like, yeah, we need you on our team. I'm going to create this spot for you as an outdoor living specialist. I want you to come work for us, and we know what you're capable of, so we want you to come work for us. So yeah, what a great story. I mean, like I said, they created the spot for me, and they said, the job's yours, go apply for it online, and here I am. And up to about a year and a half ago, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know who Dr. Dex was, I'll be honest. So until a lot
of people still don't.
Yeah.
Now look at you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I met him at Dex.
You're at the height of your career, man.
Yeah, I met you at Deck Expo, and I just waited for you, patiently. I was no hurry, but I'm like, all right, I got to see who this guy is. I got to put him on my radar. So.
Well, it never hurts. I mean, I'm just another guy, another deck builder out there doing my thing, right?
Yeah.
But we kind of have a name and a reputation and whatever. But that's it. Now it's deeper than that, because we've actually gone to breakfast together, sat down, had a couple sit downs, and hence this little gathering that we're talking about now, because I actually went back to the PWT factory. Calvin was with me. You came with me. This is like,
I remember.
Yeah, I don't know what year this was. I think it was right after COVID, or was it right before COVID?
It was 2019.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
But here's what I was impressed with when I first met you. I mean, first of all, for you to make time to meet somebody you've never met before, and to actually, I mean, you're so down to earth, I'll be honest with you. I mean,
thanks, man.
As big as you are, which we all know who you are, believe it or not.
Okay.
Calvin and I know who you are, buddy. Trust me. For as big as you are, to actually take 2 minutes to say, hey, I'm Chad Furley. I'm from PWT. You're Dr. Dex. I just want to introduce myself so you know who I am. And just for you to just 2 minutes with me, man, absolutely amazing to make time for me. So I greatly.
Well, shame on me if I didn't do that, because I think everybody deserves. Sometimes I'll be at a show and I see people standing there for 20, 30 minutes while some guy's blabbing my ear off. I'm like, hey, I need to talk to these guys too. Sorry, I got to let you go. Yeah. But I see the patience that some people have is awesome, and I want to shake everybody's hand.
Yeah,
I want to meet everybody, and if you came there to talk to me, then I want to make sure that happens. Like I'm not above. We're all equals.
Yeah,
you have a set of skills. I have a set of skills. I've learned how to apply mine and to share it a certain way, and it's been a really great ride so far. Yeah. We're hitting some speed bumps, but we're going to persevere over those as well, and we're just going to keep on keeping on. But I have some more questions for you, Chad. But people, if you want to hear them, we're going to get a little bit more into the financial part of PWT, like retail value and costs and all that. But we're going to do it on our Patreon channel. So if you guys want to hear some of the good stuff that we're about to get into, you got to jump over to Patreon, hit that subscribe button, and join the community of our Patreons. Chad Furley, we're out of time, but what a great story, man. Thank you for sharing. It's always fun to go down memory lane and hear a little bit about your history, but let's move forward from here. We're gonna go to Patreon now, and you can tell me a little bit more about the products that you have. What exactly are they? I mean, we'll get into some of the dirt about the actual mechanics of how this product's made. I've seen how it's made.
Yeah.
So, but for our listeners, they don't know. So we want to explain to them, and we're going to start with laminated veneer, and we'll go from there, and specialized glues and all that cool stuff. So, there's the sample right there. So, like I said, that's all the time we have for you on our podcast. Thank you, Chad Furley.
Thank you
for being on the Dr. Dex podcast. We really appreciate you, Calvin. Hit that music, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day.
Thank you.